Well, let's see whether those key moments will come into the pistol round as we jump right into it. But I've got to say, I think I'm standing with you on this one, Scriv. As we go into the game, we'll see what Maka can actually bring to the table because he was not really there entirely. So if he shows up over here, I have to say stats could be discounted pretty damn quickly. Let's not forget, Ldlc hasn't actually played that many games in general, so their statistical relevance is to be questioned in the first place anyhow.
Yeah, mainly just focusing on the Esea stuff, right? So certainly a hard team to predict when it comes to the raw numbers. And I think if you're a team doing that, you need to be very, very careful. Anonymo as well, though, their map pool is a little all over the place. It seems like Train is the solid map, you know, the comfortable map, the one that they have put the most work into, I suppose. And it seems to be paying off for them. So time will tell. A simple B play by the looks of things. An awkward fight for Snacks to kick us off, but he does manage to win it nonetheless. Big nade coming in. Fair chunk of damage. Kios needs to be careful not to go down instantly here, and Minio's going to 3-burst him to the head in the air. Lambert trying on his trusty P2K. Not a gun that you see very often these days. He does manage to find one. Perhaps needs a little more or a little bit of assistance. It has come to a slowdown in the final 45 seconds.
Snacks on the flank comes in, but now he's spotted. Mouse in the meanwhile finds another, and Snacks makes it too. The pressure being put onto this team is a little bit too high for them to deal with, and when they're caught off with their pants down after having rotated 3 players over towards the B bomb site early, yeah, you can't let Snacks get away with getting a kill and then backing off, then going back to Ivy. This is where, Anonymo, they're already looking comfortable. They're already looking impressive. Snacks starting off with 3 kills, also important. I talked about how important it is for Maka to be showing up. Look, Snacks wasn't there either on Nuke, and this is his chance to make up for it.
Pretty slow start into this round. Anonymo taking things patiently, and I think that is fair enough. They don't want to get caught off by a classic Ldlc force buy. Unfortunately, it ends up being somewhat dull to begin with, as they just hold the default. Look to get some smokes out. Cut off certain areas. Aggressive position from Kios here. It's such a good idea. Unfortunately, they're ready for it, able to take him down easily. Not a single point of damage from that exchange. So looking good so far for Anonymo. Another one to come in here onto Sixer, caught in the back. The remaining 3 players are very quickly onto the A-bomb site, but also very quickly being eliminated. The 3K for Innocent, looking very nice indeed on that Galil. Does need to be careful not to go down needlessly towards the end, but the round itself, I think, is pretty much secured.
And Innocent is one of those players who has consistently looked like he is on a different level to the rest of his teammates, and even sometimes to the rest of the server. Just the fact that he's getting most of his skills through measured play rather than individual brilliance is also really telling of how long he's been around. And for those of you guys who don't know, as Maka gets a couple of nice shots, actually, for those of you guys who don't know, Innocent initially did gain most of his international acclaim when he played on one of the first ever international CSGO teams, Penta Esports, and it was him and Sunny and HS and a couple of these players all together who were able to get to some majors, do really well. Ever since then, he's never had the same career trajectory that you'd maybe expect of someone who has already flourished in an international team, but the skill is definitely there.
Ldlc not going for their classic second force in a row. On the CT side, it's wacky. We saw it yesterday on the T side of Dust 2. It was pretty fun and actually works out for them. I do like when, stuff makes an appearance like that. Shouldn't really work, but it does, just because I think it was so unconventional. Looking to be another slow round. Anonymo this time slightly more proactive, not playing the default the entire time. It's a B stack from Ldlc as well, and unfortunately, it's not a B hit. Anonymo gaining control of the A-bomb site pretty much instantly. And that'll be the round.
Not often you hear that being said in a 5 versus 5, and always is nice to see it. Especially when you consider the 5v5 has 5 baseline pistols, so at the very least, I appreciate the fact that they don't want to give money to the MAC 10. You know, that is something to take home from this. Snacks will probably have an AWP out in the next round too, so, you know, actually a pretty solid ignoring decision from both teams, surprisingly enough, after what we've seen in the first game.
All right. A weird kind of round for sure, but now
Yeah.
it should hopefully heat up between these two teams now that the buy will be coming in. Maka does have enough for the AWP as well if he opts to go towards it. Interestingly enough, you know, their first CT side, or first few CT side rifle rounds, he didn't. But yeah, I feel on train, it's kind of insane to not go for it. I can kind of feel it a little bit on Nuke in the sense that Anonymo were not necessarily pulling an AWP out themselves. Maybe the setup Ldlc were going for didn't call for an AWP, something like that. But on train, it just seems so silly. Perhaps, I think at the moment, the best AWP map, it feels like. You know, Dust 2 is always touted as that AWP as playground, but I think train gives you the most versatility. Maybe not the biggest effect of the AWP, but certainly a lot more in terms of the options, in my opinion.
Fun nade going out. I like it. That's actually quite a nice one. It's for anyone who's playing that little ROPS position on top of the white train. It's quite common at this point, but it's very hard to deal with. So a nade that can definitely do a lot of damage if it finds someone. Unfortunately, this time over, the tracking mechanisms aren't working all too well. The heat-seeking protocol's not going in, and, you know, it finds nothing. But here comes the full execute, and there are two players on the side to try and intercept. Lambert and Haji need to step up and show up, but Lambert's been mollied off. It's a full barrage of flame, and Lambert is forced back to the back of the side. They have rotated all four players over, though, and this is the perfect call for the CT side. Can they find the kills?
$1 million question. Haji so far able to pick up one. Great position on this MAC-10. Trading back Lambert. Pushing forwards. That's what the B-bomb site is all about. Limiting the space that the CTs have got to work with. And he is in the back rank, running around, running rampant right now on this MAC-10. Innocent will go down. He's kind of losing his teammates, to be honest. Maka finding another and trading K eventually. Maybe needed to burst a little quicker. Meanwhile, Miles up high. Drops one. Tagged up by the AWP, but not quite taken down. Don't have a smoke for the bomb as far as I'm aware. Miles is going to have to go for the peak, though, to check, and Maka will take him down. Is there enough time to get it through? I believe so with the kit. And there you have it. Ldlc will pull off a pretty nice retake. Nothing too flashy, but relatively well played. Not panicking too much when that MAC-10 shows itself as well.
Not too shabby at all. But that also was all based off of a very good rotation coming through, and Anonymo was trying to bait them into hesitation. Anonymo did have that moment of waiting around, moment of seeing whether or not there's going to be a push, some utility. You know, maybe the CTs start to double back, but CTs hold firm in their decision, and now it's actually Mouse to find Haji, but Sixer will take down Snacks. The double up from the CT side will start to strike in.
Lambert got to be careful on his own over towards B. They're not going too fast, but he is somewhat on his own. The rotation eventually comes in from Kios. Interesting, they leave both the AWPs out on the A-bomb site. And pushing forwards as well. Maka gaining information. It's actually quite a nice play. It shouldn't really work. Again, it's one of those, and he does move towards Pop Dog. Great read to find. And now they've eliminated two areas of contention here on the A-bomb site.
You love to see it from Maka, though. This early on, being willing to get aggressive. This early on, being willing to, you know, get his hands dirty. It really messes up the terrorist side points of aggression. But Mouse will kill himself with the assistance of Lambert, leaving Innocent the only man standing. And Innocent with the AWP could think of saving, but with the lost bonus, the way it... Oh, what? Maka just climbed up the ladder and shoots him with a no-scope.
Baby.
On a ladder, no less, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. The bullets from the AWP are quite big, bro. Quite big.
Yeah, they really are, aren't they? That's how they kill you so fast.
Indeed, mate. Indeed. Wacky kind of end, but wouldn't be Ldlc without it. Really good to see as well. You know, we talk about that aggression. It's somewhat Okay, finding another opener here as well as they decide to go fast off the back of the force buy. Maybe I'll hold the point. Are they going to continue to do so is the big question. Looks like Kiosk is. Flash goes in. Oh, chef's kiss. Beautiful stuff. Love to see it. Great frag. And he continues. Gonna find Snacks? No. Snacks will take him down. Gains himself an M4. Trying his best to even things back up. But yeah, just to quickly reiterate what you were saying, right? It's really nice to see Maka after a bit of a weaker performance over on Nuke. Yes, the map goes okay, right? In the end. But to me, pulling off such an aggressive play early on means that he's not so bothered. He's not in his own head, being his own worst enemy. He's happy with the victory. And now it's a fresh new map. Maybe I will take the front foot, you know, and be the aggressor here on train. So good to see. Hadji, meanwhile, above the smoke, able to take down Minio. Kai also falling. All left onto the big man Snacks. Something apple. But I don't think so this time.
I guess he's had food. You know, not that hungry, not that peckish. But can he find anything over here as he moves back? Hadji barely evades his sight lines, and Snacks is able to find one at the very least. However, that is Sixer, and Hadji will see Snacks, will know that he's still playing from the back of the site, and here comes Maka. Snacks here's the scope. Hadji rotating back to the highway. Snacks dodges a bullet by crouching down on the ladder itself. Beautiful bait for the shot, but with 18 seconds left, at some point or the other, you're going to have to forfeit this round away.
Like this, probably your best plant spot. Oh, it's a little unlucky. Does manage to find one. There's not a lot of time left, though. There goes the round.
Oh, I love
now
it.
he's just looking
They're
to
waiting.
do damage.
They're waiting.
Oh, no, he needs to stay alive.
Oh.
He lands the leg. That's so unlucky. Oh, $950 to his name. That is, as they say, a massive tilter.
Not just that, but that's going to massively tilt the favor inside of Ldlc as well, because you're now looking at them having an opportunity to really run away with things. They've got themselves a lot of space to start farming up some cash. Even Innocent's been knifed by Snacks. So, you know, you can really start to see, like you said, the tilt setting in just a little bit. And Minio's found one, which is good to see. But Lambert's right there to recover. But Lambert's not actually turning around. Lambert will get a spray. But it was looking slightly rough in the beginning.
Okay, I respect it, Snacks. You know, might as well give it a go. Maybe catch him with a nade in hand, something like that, but not going to work out. It's all good. You know, usually we'd be like, what the hell? But in this kind of a round, taking those sorts of risks is fine. And actually has a relatively high reward if it works out.
The problem is, Scriv, they don't have, like, the best of buys in the next round either.
Yeah.
They'll have a buy.
That's what happens.
2,900. Yeah, it is.
You know, gotta die before time, dude.
Got to get the kills with the Deagles as well, because they've invested a fair bit of those. Lambert, however, will drop the bomb. Mouse is left in a 1 versus 4. And look, that 1 kill is actually very significant. Not just because it's given him an MP9, but also it really... Where does it even wallbang? Is that wallbang into Pop Dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just barely. I think it's one of those where you probably need to hit them in the face to really do anything substantial.
Well, Mouse is hoping to hit someone in the face. Can he find them, though? As he inches forward. Again, any kills are good kills. Any money is good money. And right now, anybody is a good kill to find. But are they going to starve him out again? There's 6 seconds. Mouse has to move forward. Mouse has to die. There's 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Now, he does have $2K, but they are going to maybe start to hunt him down. Now, if they find this kill, if Lambert gets it, this will be huge. But Lambert barely misses the opportunity to make their economy absolutely devastated. They will have a buy because of it. Mouse can drop a Mac 10 to Snacks if he wants to. And indeed, it's a buy.
They'll try and get it together. I mean, things are starting to spiral a little bit here once the rifles have come into play. Ldlc have looked very scary indeed. I think that is safe to say. Recent memory at the very least. The AWP's running rampant particularly. There he is. Maka on 10 frags. Make it 11. Looking for a 12 maybe? I think he's going to go back for it from a slightly different angle. Really playing well. Innocent, though, has crept in. Manages to find one. Catches a second as well. Maka's gone down getting aggressive. It's fallen apart for Ldlc. Lambert doing his best to try and pick up the pieces, but it's all left on to Hadji in the end, and he is being surrounded by these remaining T-side players. Flash is coming in. Ooh, a little dodgy. Hadji does manage to find the first, loses out to the second. However, an Anonymo have put a stop to LDLC's little tear. Not able to recover the AWP, so there is that. But they have, of course, broken that bank.
They also have enough money for themselves to be able to at least, guarantee maybe a couple Mac 10 kills. If they get that, then they can guarantee, 1 or 2 rounds after that, assuming they win this. So, not a bad place to be after you lose out all of your weaponry. All of your loss bonus on one player, rather, not your weaponry. Algae, however, looking to deal some damage, close range with the Deagle. Always get surprised by CT sides who buy Deagle and armor, or even just a Deagle, and you've got no loss bonus. I really don't like it, but we'll have to see whether or not it comes back to haunt them later. The next round, they will have a buy because Marka has 5k, so they will have a buy, but...
Yeah,
no
but it does
Hadji.
nothing. The thing is, there are some teams and some players that have this kind of almost addiction that they need to buy something in a round. You know what I mean? They need some kind of an upgrade, not just the basic pistol, and maybe they don't quite see the bigger picture from time to time. And yeah, even just a little thing, just get a P250, you know what I mean, and hold a crazy little angle, like buying chest armor and a Deagle and then swinging into where you know there's probably a player is, I guess, a bit unwise. It could work, but the odds are heavily stacked against you, to be honest.
Like, when people think drugs are bad, they haven't tried, just buying people around in Counter-Strike. Because you know that one hit you're gonna get,
Yeah,
that one quick headshot. Oh, you're gonna feel so good about yourself, you'll do it again, but it just doesn't get there, does it? You just gotta keep going and going. And sometimes, you'll get a headshot in there. Sometimes you'll get a kill, but it's just not enough. That's why you don't buy Deagles, kids. Because Deagles ruin lives.
Well, there you go. Very true, to be fair. I mean, Deagles are... It's
true.
So annoying to die to a Deagle, honestly. $700 to bang you in the head across the map. Not nice. Not nice at all. Yeah, this buy is scrappy, to say the least. They need to find an early frag here on the LDLC side of things to start solidifying something into this round. Anonymo kind of playing into their hands with a bit of speed. Ooh, quick 1-for-1 trade. AWP recovered for Kioz. Let's see what he can do. He can drop Minio. The communication, I guess, not quite given, or maybe just not respecting the fact that Kioz is going to go for it, because that's what Kioz does. 4-on-3, LDLC, with a minute and 10 seconds left, have got themselves a solid upper hand. No utility left, no kits. So the man advantage is everything. But they have it, and they do, indeed, as the name suggests, have the advantage right now.
Haji's position is going to be key. He sees where Mouse is coming into. Kioz rotates over. Kioz had a chance, but he looks away, and Mouse will find the kill instead. It leaves it onto Haji on this B-bomb site, but the bomb has made its way over to another position, and that's actually Lambert to find it. Nice headshot, long range, but can't follow it up, leaving Haji to win a duel and leave Snacks very lonely as he picks up the AWP and will save it into the next. Kioz, I mean, those 2 kills were absolutely massive from him, allowing them so much more room, but he does get close.
Yes, and of course, close means costly on the CT side. So, kind of a rough one. Pause coming in here. There is a buy available for Anonymo just about. I see. Unfortunately, it sounds we have a technical pause, but fingers crossed, should be out of it relatively quickly. But yeah, LDLC, I mean, they'll be happy for this kind of thing as well. Gives them a bit of time to just work things out, drop across, and cool off for a second. It's the swing round, right? The middle of the half. Looking pretty good here for both sides. And honestly, as far as it goes, Train is probably our most CT side of map in the pool at the moment. Does depend on the level. This game is very, very crazy, the way that LDLC approach things. But nonetheless, that's something that will be in the back of their minds, right? Having themselves a 6 or 7 T-side half, very, very nice to work with, especially on your best map. on the Anonymo side of things. So it's a key round. I can see why there's an extended pause here. Maybe, yes, indeed, there is a technical issue, but it comes at the right time, as they often seem to do.
Gasp. But I will say this, though. Like, referees have really upped their game during this online era in just making sure that, you know, there's no skullduggery involved in any sort of pauses and shenanigans like that. So it's quite nice to see at the very least. But Lambert will soon find himself Molotov out of the... Oh, actually, hold that top because Haji is holding the brown horse. He's watching the angle, gets the first kill, backs off, and will actually see another as he is getting himself away to safety. This is going to be a big round for Kios to maybe try and step up if they're coming towards the B bomb site. But this is just... Man, these are shotgun rotations.
Yeah.
Like,
It is very Puggy in energy, the way that they play their CT side, at least in terms of the rotation, the aggression. Haji gets away with holding that angle, first of all, something that is a slight oversight. I mean, they take the fight. They're kind of prepared for it. He's just there fast. But it's more the fact that he's able to jump across and get away, right? Maybe there should be someone backing up with a nade, with a Molotov, to force him on Anonymo's terms to leave that position rather than his own terms.
Great timing with the smoke, actually. Haji will be blocking off the low way immediately, and Lambert is playing this perfectly. He's starting to get a bit more aggressive. In the meanwhile, Snacks is about to meet Marker, and he will find that kill. Incredibly important because it starts forcing rotations back, but Kios will make sure to use one more smoke before he moves, and the flashbang comes in. They have to move through the smoke. There just isn't time. Haji playing a perfect angle from underneath the highway, but it's all going to be about Kios as he's been peeked first. He's so confused, doesn't know where to go, and he goes forward. Haji now trying to pick things up, but it's all left to Lambert in a 1 versus 3, the worst possible gun to do it with. He's got to try saving the AWP.
Yeah, I think so. Certainly a good mind for the game, right? And the way that they like to approach things here on the LDLC side of things. But he's miles away. He's got an MP9 or an AWP at best. There's just no time, right? And he's not really known for his clutching prowess. And that's fair, you know? You don't have to do everything well in Counter-Strike. That's why it's a team game. Maybe, you know, some people listening out there would do well to heed that advice. Sometimes you just get carried, you know? But yeah, saving the AWP, very, very important here. Like I said, though, key round. Anonymo are now in control. I'd say not even just of the half in isolation, but the game itself. Having such a strong T side set up here already puts them in a fantastic position. I mean, if they end on 6, then it's maybe like an okay T side, but all the same, they're in a spot where they could take over the game.
That goes without saying, but the question is Marco about to find out where his Superman cloak has been hiding all game long? Or is he about to find that Kryptonite works whether or not you have the cloak on? Playing it towards the B-bomb side is a safer decision to go for Scriv. But safe doesn't win you these rounds, and, well, really, I don't even know if it's about winning this round. Loss bonus in the bin. Opportunities not being afforded to them. I wouldn't have hated a force buy around this AWP, honestly, but with Kios falling in this position, this is pretty much GG for this round at the very least.
I think Anonymo are very unsure of what's going on. Maka as well to break the silence here. Oh, that's not ideal. Great find from Snacks. Got to be careful. Goes for the fake. That will force the pistols forwards. And they do indeed get sprayed down. Yeah, very cleanly done by Minio on the double. They'll recover that AWP. It looked like for just a second with Maka finding that frag that perhaps things fall apart. You know, the domino effect, as it were. But they deal with it. A very, very nice touch from Snacks as well to go for the fake. Anonymo up to 7. Moving the AWP away. And of course now, this is a rough scenario that Ldlc are in. So this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool if you're on that Anonymo side of things, for sure. Oh, Maka on the Zeus. Love to see it.
absolutely do, but they still need a little bit more of those screaming chicken noises to actually get past the finish line. Lambert, meanwhile, hoping to get something done with the Deagle. We know he can be deadly with it. He's had a few shots even on a Nuke despite a poor individual performance, but now it's all about Sixer holding off Ivy, but he's only holding it off from one person. Seems like the main assault will be coming from A main, and that's where Kios is. The big man himself, he's had the numbers, he's had the moments, he's had the frags, but can he have another?
I'm not so sure. 30 HP and no armor, he'd have to get overlooked massively, and it's kind of a sneaky angle. He does have Sixer below him to bait out, right? But all the same, 35 seconds left. They're not giving themselves an awful lot of time. This kind of a play, this kind of an angle with Haji now joining the party really could catch them off guard if they're not careful. Yeah, down goes one. Quick trade comes in. Haji as well to follow up. So well recovered from Anonymo. Down goes Sixer. And now there's no one left on the A-bomb site. Very well done. Again, another Ldlc classic kind of gotcha position, gotcha play. It doesn't work out. Snacks on the AWP as well to chime in. So very, very well played from Anonymo. Cleaning up house. And again, making sure not to get caught off guard. I think Ldlc are a very easy team to, get a bit complacent against in the anti-eco, anti-force buy scenarios, and then suddenly you find yourself in a 3-on-1 out of nowhere.
Yeah, but it's always really important just to make sure that you can clean them up, because those are also the rounds where if Ldlc is able to get a bit too much, they just get the confidence to go for the same sort of super high tempo aggressive plays again and again and again. And it's key to make sure that confidence doesn't really get in there.
Very true. Very, very true. I mean, especially in a game like this, right, where Ldlc love to work off of the confidence and the momentum, and it clearly makes a difference if they're going for that aggressive push, and there's a bit of hesitation in there, a bit of indecisiveness. It's going to make all the difference in the end. So, it is a fair point that you raised. The double up setup coming into play. It's a relatively decent buy here. Maka could have done with some armor, but CT side, there's always some kind of financial sacrifice, it feels like. Relatively well put together, though, and I think they are in with a decent enough chance. What is the game plan, though? Ivy has been left completely open. Not even in the sense of we are watching it passively. It is very open indeed. Traded off that control for control of A main. Anonymo, it feels like kind of have the upper hand here, particularly because you look at that minimap, just immediately points to a B split coming in.
For sure, but you've also got to start wondering, Kios has been quick to rotate time and time again onto the B-bomb site. His impact has not necessarily been the highest, and look at his kills, they're not really up there either. So when he rotates over, is he going to be enough? Meanwhile, they've got full control over A main, and the AWP of Maka is going to be keeping an eye out for an Ivy push. With 50 seconds left, they are definitely starting to think about it. But Maka, he might be flanked from the side. There's Minio on the bomb site, and he's looking to find him. And indeed he does. Lines them both up. Beautiful 2 kills. And that might be the round, because they're going to start to rotate back. They're going to start to second guess themselves. They're going to start to wonder, how do we win this? How do we survive? And Lambert might have found a lifeline. 4 versus 3. Doable. Anonymo, they're reconsidering. They're rethinking. But where do they go?
Looks like they are fully committing to that A-bomb site then. And unfortunately for Haji and Kios, they are miles from the action. Snacks drops Lambert. That will be the 4-on-2 they were looking for. The remaining Ldlc players will look to save. Anonymo move up to 9. Very, very nice T-side scoreline already. 10 certainly on the cards as well, with no money available for the CT side if Haji goes down here, especially, which he will. Great correction of the crosshair from Malzinho. And yeah, this is kind of the issue, I think, with Train for Ldlc. They are indeed good mechanically. They do have some nice moments. Those early rifle rounds were very dominant indeed. But as soon as Anonymo, the more experienced team on this map, gain an adaptation, exploit a weakness, whatever it may be, Ldlc struggle to change things up themselves. And it's kind of the case yesterday as well, right? They are a very, very, 2-page playbook kind of team. And beyond that, what do we do? Not really sure. If it isn't working, then it just kind of never seems to get started again, it feels like.
Snacks though starts off nicely, and he's getting started all right. But Lambert, while fully blind, does dodge a bullet from the big man himself. Haji equalizes, but not without cost to his life. As he drops off and loses in-game leader on the other side of the map, he will be forced back too. So, 4 and 3, HP not really there, neither is the utility. The money never really settled down for the CT side, and Innocent is going in. Beautiful kill to find, and it's a 3 versus 2, but both players with AUGs. So can they get anything done?
First one, no. Second one is Makazin. We'll see what he can find. He walks straight into the crosshair of Minio, though, and will also fall. Very, very good half in the end. The 10 rounds on the T side, and honestly, I do not have high hopes for the Ldlc T side. So, really well played from Anonymo. In that round, Snacks particularly able to just play around with them, forces his way through a smoke, and catches them off guard. Creates so much room, right? He does eventually go down. The AWP up close, it's difficult to work with, but he's created that room. Innocent gets in for the trade. Very well played by Anonymo as a unit, honestly, on that T side.
And Script, you have to start asking the question, do Ldlc have what it takes to do anything on the T side? Because one caveat I will add is, on the CT side, a lot of the times the reason why they were just not able to do much, it looked like it was because of Kios not being able to frag when, the hit actually came to the B-bomb side. Kios, even when he'd get the rotation timing to be correct, his lack of numbers is really starting to show itself. Will that change moving forward?
I mean, it's a good question to raise, right? That's kind of the point here. I don't think these players even, let alone Ldlc as a team, but I don't think the players are as comfortable on train. And that seems to show. Not painfully, not disastrously. And you never know, like I mentioned in the pre-game, they might find themselves an unorthodox approach to train here, right? That really catches Anonymo off guard. But again, as has been the case on multiple maps over the past couple of days, it's nice to keep up with these guys and see how, indeed, they can adapt things. Their nuke in places looked much, much better. But it still eventually fell off because they run into the brick wall. They come up to the hurdle, whatever kind of metaphor you want to use for an obstacle in your way. Ldlc always seem to find one and often struggle to overcome it. And either A, lose the game, or B, make things incredibly difficult to close things out.
I'm sure Ldlc have got quite a bit of a conversation to be having right now as well, though. And this is an issue that they're going to face against everyone in Premier, pretty much. You can't really afford to have, a lack of consistency on most of your members. We saw. I personally thought Kios would be the piece who's always the hyper fragger. I personally thought that Haji would be the solid guy, and it's been true so far for Haji. But this one game, I have to raise some eyebrows and wonder: is it overly map dependent for a player like Kios? Is he not going to be able to put up a performance on the enemy team's map pick in key situations, because that's what you need in a best of 3. You need a superstar to carry you through the enemy team's map pick sometimes.
Yeah, I think so, right? And just be that independent variable that they weren't really prepared for, And at the moment, indeed, it doesn't feel like they quite have that, but we will move into the second half here. Ldlc on the T side, see what they can deliver. Immediately seem to have a bit of a plan coming out with 3 players on the utility. It's getting more and more common to see these T side executes, actually. For many years, it was just 5 sets of armor. Maybe on some maps like Inferno, there'd be smokes, but now teams are really starting to think about their pistols a lot more. The P250 leading the way. Kios chiming in early, taking down Snacks. Big danger man in that first half. K looks across, does manage to drop one, a second as well. Cool, calm, and collected. Also getting a bit of help from his teammates. All going to be left onto Lambert. It was a great start, but unfortunately, as per usual, it all goes south very quickly for Ldlc.
Yeah, you can't really point a finger at what's going wrong, because you're going to run out of fingers at this point, Scriv.
True. maybe together,
Maybe
you and I
together.
could do it with our what? Depends on how you class it. 16 or 20. Is a thumb a finger?
It's a big debate, isn't it? It's one of those really stupidly pointless ones, like pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is at least somehow worse because, you know, with pineapples on pizza, technically speaking, if you're going out with someone, hanging out with someone, you know, you've got to make a choice. You've got to decide on a compromise. But with this, it literally doesn't affect anyone else's life at all. Why do you care whether I have 16 fingers or 22?
You seem to have some harbored resentment.
Look, man, I'm done with being asked these trick questions, all right? That's all I'm saying. But Sixer might be done with this round as well, but he will
Ooh,
definitely go
okay.
out with a couple of kicks to the teeth of Minio. He will get one, but K, flying saucer that he is, comes in and beams him right up with the USB.
Indeed. 12-5 looking pretty good. The pressure is on LDLC early into this second half. Then they will once again opt to go for the AKs as soon as possible mentality. They did exactly the same on Nuke. And we will see whether it pays off here. Bit of an execute. Immediately going for it. Again, there's just little things, you know. Haji throws the smoke in. His teammates not even lined it up yet. They just go down Pop Dog. It's cool from Kai, but they're the easiest 3 kills that he's had all game. I can guarantee you that. Maybe the third one is a little bit of a challenge. Those in Pop Dog, not hard at all. That one nice and simple. 4K out of nowhere. Rounds over in 30 seconds. LDLC, I think the game might be over in 30 seconds as well. Maybe not quite that fast, to be fair to them, but relatively quick. That is, I don't know, a nice idea. Rush into them, but even then, as far as rushes go, it was very, very loosely structured.
See, now again, we're seeing the same thing, Scriv, and I know it's on CT side, so it's not quite as much of a cardinal sin as it is otherwise, but Haji's brought down to 1,500. Keel's, you know, 2K is still doable. You've got a full loss bonus, but...
I just, like, why though? You know, you've got
I mean,
8
it makes no
kills, mate.
sense.
No offense, but,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
it's probably not happening. But it could,
It does make
you know,
more
that's-
sense on the terrorist side at the very least.
Yeah,
You know, you can
yeah.
maybe break the CT economy and everything, but it's a little bit about philosophy.
At the cost of your own.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit of a weird one. But they're finding frags here, T-Time. They are finding frags. Nice pick up from Snacks. Very quick to the mark. Leaving Lambert and Sixer to do everything on their own. And I feel their positions are vaguely well known. And also, the bomb is not with them, but Snacks peeks into the wrong angle. His body shows way earlier than he does. Okay, he'll find a trade quickly, but that damage you were talking about, sir, it's certainly been done and there's potential for more.
Lambert, though. Take it away. He can, but take it away to the next map is what I mean. Even so, it's still going to be the double off setup now coming up from Anonymo, and now you're looking at a point where a comeback from LDLC is, you know, less than likely to happen, but maybe this is where they can start to, you know, build some momentum up. If Kios can get a few kills for the next map, we're in a much better place already. Vertigo was, you know, where we saw Kios and Maka really come alive. There is nothing to say that they can't do it again.
Ooh, there you go, Minio. Nice early opener. They will lose K over towards the B bomb site, but it's a fair chunk of HP. Nade goes in and will indeed drop Hadji. Rest in peace. 4 on 3. And again, Maka is half HP, so really not looking too good here. They are stacked inside this smoke. Miles is going to spot them early, but he's not able to get the multi-frag that you would expect. Sixer and Maka have torn through the B defense in an instant. This is classic LDLC to pull it out of the bag at the very last second. It's not over just yet. Snacks looking to push through the smoke again. Very, very low. Maka not quite sure where it's coming from, but he manages while scoped in to find the right angle. Thank goodness for LDLC, and it's still a long road ahead. But that could be the first step.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ldlc has to take a pause to replace Maka's mousepad because it's definitely got some burn marks over there. He's just skidding it around, looking frantically. Where's the USB? Where's the USB? And that's also one of the advantages of the USB. You know, you can't see the tracer. It's pretty damn quiet. You know, you have to take a while to echolocate it. But now full scale execute going out towards the A bomb site. I like this. It's going to be looking to counteract this, you know, heavy force spy from Anonymo, but K is still good for one. However, the trade is there, and Maka one-ups it. Innocent in the deagle, in the smoke, and it is about to be in Kios, or so I thought, because Kios has started to pick it up. Now, it will be back to a 4 versus 1. Snack's unlikely to get much accomplished either, and you know what, maybe this is where Ldlc can start to, you know, get some confidence for the next one.
At this point, that's what we're talking about, right? It's a pickup of momentum, especially a map like Vertigo. Very fast, you know, and instinctive thinking is pretty important. So I suppose making sure that you've got that to a good level going into Vertigo is always nice. It's actually a timeout from Ldlc here, so...
I'm telling you, mate, it's the skid marks.
He needs a new mousepad.
Legend says the only reason why Maka even signed on with an organization after Heretics was because he kept running out of goddamn mousepads. That's just... It's not sustainable, man. It's not sustainable.
To be fair,
you need someone to sponsor you.
Some of the shots that we've seen
the
past couple of days, I would be inclined to believe that. It's definitely a wrist breaker from time to time. You know, it's going to come out, be the big article 6 months down the line that he's got tendonitis, needs to take time off, etc., etc. As can sometimes happen to us gamers. You know, unlucky, particularly those that are of the higher caliber, really putting their all into it, as you'd expect. I mean, not knocking them, I'm just saying. Okay.
Yeah, like, how dare they do their jobs?
You know what people are like sometimes, you know, they can misconstrue what you're saying.
Yep. Well, I also know what this bomb site is about to become like. It's about to be a lot of dead USBs, but maybe they can just find a few, because it's surely the stack has got themselves at least 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Well, we're about to appreciate 6 and Marka, because they're about to clean everyone up. Minio at least does recover a Galil, but that recovery is short-lived, just like the rest of his team. So, hey, thematic.
Indeed, there you go. Very poetic, all comes full circle in the end of that round. Another test here for Ldlc, though, of course, the full buy out. It is a little rough around the edges, but once again, as I said, CT side sacrifices need to be made, particularly on a map like Train, where it does feel like, well, maybe not Train objectively, but this map, at the moment, is indeed awfully scrappy. Maka nearly had an opportunity, I think just a little bit too late, in between players. First one managed to cross, second one had thrown a smoke. So can't find an early frag that he wants to go for, and I mean, it's, again, pretty expected from the Anonymo side. Tiny bit of chip damage onto Lambert, but it does look like, oh, another B burst coming in, a second smoke. They will decide against this. Good job that they do, because that spray down would have devastated them.
Anonymo has run out of utility completely, though. And look, Scrib, I know I've been painting it as if Ldlc's only objective is to, hey, let's just get into the next map feeling good about ourselves. But dare I hope, dare I dream, dare the French, you know, hope actually come through? We'll have to wait to see. Mouse, for now, is waiting to get a quick peek out. Molotov, utility, all raining in. Mouse is going to be on the hot seat. Gets the first one. Beautifully done. Follows up, but not the kill. Only damage. And damage is good. But good needs to be followed up as Kios moves to the side. Great flick onto Minio. He started to feel himself. And Snacks and K, probably best to just back off and try to get a round in the next one.
Okay, here we go. Ldlc are certainly putting something together towards the tail end. Could have been a very different story if they'd have picked up the pistol, but this is the story we are indeed being told, indeed having to deal with, as it were. I mean, you're still hedging your bets, right? There's some nice rounds here, but it just takes one slip-up or one incredible individual moment from Anonymo or incredible read, whatever it may be, to kind of pretty much seal the deal. Yes, it wouldn't take it fully over the line, but it would do most of the work. When you hit that 15, it's a nice little sigh of relief. And generally speaking, it does depend how close it gets before you pick up the 15, but generally speaking, at a stage like this, you know, say it's 15-11, they'll be able to take that over the line. Now that I've said that, of course, we will be here with perpetual overtimes until 2 in the morning.
Well, you never know. However, okay, meanwhile, has pushed in all the way. Kio's right outside and is watching for it. He will get it done and looks for more, will indeed find it. So, you know, one of the big win conditions for Ldlc is always Kios, and it's good to see him starting to creep back up in the scoreboard. Still, not quite where you'd like to see him, but maybe this could be the making of, dare I say it, a swift return to relevance in train. You do need to find Snax' off, though. That's a must.
Yeah, I think so. It's really been making a difference on the CT side, and without it, kind of makes life much, much harder. Looks like he's going to survive, though, to be honest. He takes down one. They don't quite want to hunt him super hard. Yeah, just going to give it to him, I suppose. Encroaching a little bit, but kind of need to commit harder than this. There's not an awful lot of time left, and can probably play around you. Maybe once the bomb goes off, move in towards it. I'm not so sure. They are going to go for it, though. Eventually closing the gap. He's got 2 to deal with. That's awfully difficult on the AWP. Trying to get out of there. He's looking to do so, and he will. Just gets around the corner in time. That AWP could make all the difference in these future rounds.
You know, that is one of the big differences between what Anonymo has been able to do and what Ldlc had on the CT side, was the amount of times that they weren't able to save the AWP on Maka, the amount of times where they went for something where, you know, maybe just saving it would have given them. For Anonymo, that's a tipping point potential. You know, that is potentially one extra AWP. You know, maybe that's a double AWP that you're looking at. Maybe that's around where Snax has a hero AWP moment because he's able to force buy one up with the rest of the team. That one AWP can be such a difference maker to drive you to 15 that we'll have to wait to see whether it comes into play. Now, there is a double AWP because of it, but how impactful is that actually going to be? Ldlc have shown tendencies to sometimes go ahead and go for a very fast-paced execute. If they're going for something similar to that again, well, a double AWP can be caught off guard pretty quickly.
Ooh, nice bit of early nade damage here in towards Team main. They try and go for a triple nade, I believe, to connector. Doesn't land in the same way. Doesn't land at all, to be completely accurate. Very quiet here. Both sides of the equation. Ooh, that is, yeah, awkward to say the least, and actually might give Ldlc a bit more room to work with than they were expecting.
I think more than that, though, it might fool Anonymo into thinking that they're not coming to B. It also, they end up using their second smoke very early on, though. But there go the smokes, there go the Molotov and the flashbangs, but they're not pushing in just quite yet. And as they go in, it's Highway to come out first. They're walking out. Snax get a kill through the smoke. Can he get more? Because he's been located, but he hasn't been brought down. It's Innocent to protect his Legion. It's a 5 versus 3.
Oh, that is so awkward. He could have had way more there. Innocent only able to get one. Minio trading things back. Maka on this up, trying to pick up the mantle all by himself against 5. He does land a couple. Going to be spotted on the ladder. Well played from Minio to just creep in and around that. I think they have him dead to rights here. Whoa, whoa, no.
Oh my God!
That comes so close. Oh my lord. Milliseconds away from being ready for the final frag. Doesn't get it.
Oh.
Anonymo will be counting their lucky stars that indeed he does not. Because, like I say, he should have been dead to rights a hell of a lot earlier than that. Dealing with 3 all at the same time, but gives them
Oh yeah.
a little bit of a check. Definitely need a pause after that one.
That was too close for comfort, but you know Mark has got it now. You know he's in the zone now. After that round, sure, it's frustrating. Very sloppy round coming out from Ldlc over there where they're not able to find the kill on Innocent a little bit quicker, where they're not able to really trade. You know, the players pushing out onto Highway, not playing off of each other too well because one player just frankly dies inside the smoke. There's not that much you can do about it. But that 4K from Maka, that could devastate Anonymo's economy. Now, Anonymo does have one advantage, is that they're going to be playing on pretty much max loss bonus route. However, where is Minio going? Minio's going outside of Ivy to find the pick on his own. But now it's Maka to trade. He's close range, he's long range, he's all the range. Script, he's just feeling it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they dropped the last one because I think they are starting to, you know, turn up the heat here on the Ldlc side of things. But time will tell. Again, posturing towards B. A slow split here that might just have broken through the Anonymo cracks. Yeah, Minio has no idea. This position from Lambert is massive. Timing going to be everything. Spots out one. Oh, misses the one tap. That's a bit awkward. I suppose hitbox-wise he was looking a bit funky, but all the same, it's enough chaos created that the rest of the team can work off the back of it. They will clean up the initial defense. Now only Innocent, spotted out by Lambert. Will get taken aback for a second, but I think should be all she wrote, bar something incredible here from Innocent. He is mollied and smoked off. Not fancying it. Going to move for the save. So Ldlc keeping the pressure on here.
Innocent. Not being hunted too vividly, despite the decent economy that's on the side of Ldlc. But despite Lambert missing the kill, you have to say, it's these small moments that come out from in-game leaders sometimes that really make all of their fragging so much more heavily impactful. Carrigan used to do it regularly in clutches. You know, Glaive's obviously a big one for smokes. These very small clutch, big brain plays that can just turn around on its head.
Absolutely. Really trying to work things out here. A lot of pauses towards the tail end of the game. It has been a bit of an intense one, and you do feel, you know, the energy is still kind of with Ldlc. So unlucky that Maka can't find that clutch. But at the same time, he shouldn't really be put in a situation where he has to 1v5 those couple rounds ago. At the moment, still feeling like it's momentum going through to Vertigo. If you are just joining us, that would be our third and final map. But 4 more, I mean, it's not completely out of the question. This one should come easy, but these are also in these tense and, you know, very, very tight kind of situations where you're rigid and maybe not wanting to make the mistakes. It's where the pistols and whatnot, where the hero AK could slip through and find a couple players caught off, whatever it may be, that Ldlc are not prepared for.
So, maybe it's his time to be a hero. Definitely got the chops for it. Some damage dealt early on. Snacks is spotted out, being boosted up, and it seems like, despite a few shots that maybe Innocent could have found, this round should be an easy cleanup. It's getting dangerously close, Scriv. Let's not make anything about it. K will at least get one. Lambert is chased away, and yes.
Okay, finding a little bit of damage. There you go. He does eventually get taken down before it gets kind of disastrous for the economy. nice pickup from Maka in the end. So 12 rounds, 3 more to go. Couple more rifle rounds to get through. Right, this one, and then, well, when it's in round number 30, one would assume, depending on what they play for on the Anonymo side, whether they go for the overtime or just take that clean victory. Risk the overtime, I should say, not necessarily go for the overtime. Another pause. Big technical issues, guys. I mean, it's fair.
Yeah. And now, I mean, you know, Anonymo, they've found some success with it a lot before, but I can't say it was because of double up, really. It was because of the fact that Snacks just gets a kill through the smoke. He's able to follow it up again, and Innocent's making a massive play. So, you know, how much is that double up going to provide us? We haven't found out yet.
All right, here we go. Heavy execute coming in early on into round number 28. Immediately, Kios is out, but through the smoke, Minio reads it like a book, maybe spotting his foot around that smoke. Quick flick onto Sixer as well. 3 on 5. They've got to pull this back, absolutely, to stay in train. And, well, the odds are stacked against them. Limited utility. The initial execute has not worked at all. Minio, the thorn in their side. No points of damage taken for those 2 frags either. So it is perfect so far for Anonymo Esports.
This could be it. This could be the end for Ldlc. Snacks. All he needs to do is wait, and he knows it. But right now, Minio's the one who's about to feel the pressure. He's had 2 so far. Needs to make it 3, and the bomb will drop, and the round will be secured. Minio knows that he's being baited out. Will get a shot, but not the kill. And with the Molotov being flung forward, yes, Lambert survives, but it is all for naught. He's in a 1 versus 5. He can't get it done unless it's a miracle. And his hands are together, but that means they're off of his gun. And Mouse will take him out there. And then 16th round found. And it was sweaty, it was hard, it was bleak. But Anonymo are able to get away with the second map victory. We'll be going to a third. And we'll be back with that very soon.